Hello, it's Gina Brandstetter from Stamping Heaven here, and I am here with the 12 Days of Crafting Day 3. So we have been doing crafting for the past 2 days. We're ready to open door number 3 out of our 12 Days of Crafting box. This is the stamp set that comes with the box when you order it. We're going to use that today. So let's open up and see what is in day 3. This is day 2. Here we have some paper, which we are going to use. So let's just set this aside as a reminder. This was day 2. And day 1 was some die cuts, which we will use those too. So day 3 is right here. It is some little gold gems. It's a little bag of gold gems. Now, these are not adhesive backed, so there's different things that we can do with them. You can add them as an embellishment. Sorry for the blur there. Let me just pour these out on something so that you can get a close-up view. They look like they're different sizes. Today, I am going to create a card that uses them as a shaker. And as we go along through the 12 days of crafting, I will probably use them also as embellishments. Okay, so the paper that I chose to use for my card today from yesterday's paper is this piece right here. It's all blues and white. So we've got Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, and white. And I'm going to make a regular size card. So let's just go ahead and put this on the base of our card. Now, as a reminder, when you purchase the 12 Days of Crafting box from me, you will get a PDF guide of all 12 projects that I will be creating as we go through the days. Now, some of this I have already pre-done. So the next thing that I did is I use these Everyday Arches dies. I love these Everyday Arches. I actually have created a scrapbook page with them and I've been using them on cards. And I thought this would be a cute way to use them on this card here. Now I have cut two. I cut one in white, one in Misty Moonlight, and then I took this flower die and I ran it through and cut that out. And I will show you why. This will be our shaker part. I'm going to put it on the card like this. Now, before I start putting this together, I'm going to stamp the flower in that opening right there. I'm going to get the stamp. I'm going to stamp it in Misty Moonlight. And I don't want it to be really dark, so I'm going to use second generation stamping. So I will ink it up. I will stamp it off on a scratch paper. You can see how dark that is. And then we are going to get a lighter tone. I've got this lined up just like, because I'm going to put it together. Let's line this stamp up here. Looks like this. See if you can see that. The glare is kind of bad. There we go. Okay. Now I am going to stamp the center of the flower. I'll use Misty Moonlight again, but this time I will use the true color of Misty Moonlight, first generation stamping. So I'm getting this kind of larger center there. There we go. Shows up nicely. Okay, so now let's work on the shaker part. So to do the shaker, I needed a piece of clear, and this is actually from a flip flap. I just cut it apart. So what I'm going to do is just put adhesive around here. And stick this on. And the next thing I'm going to do, of course, I've got to make a little box for the gems. I'm going to use this strips, pop up dimensional strips. So let's just take a piece and grab some scissors. So we want to make a box around the flower. I want to make sure it doesn't show on the other side. And I'm going to connect all of these so that the gems will not get through. So what I'm doing is I'm placing it as close as I can to the one that sticks out the farthest. Is that a word? Farthest? One more piece here. I hope I cut it long enough. Yeah, exactly. How did I do that? Okay. And we want this to actually stand up. So we need to go ahead and put some adhesive all along the edges here. Because the center will be popped up, we want the rest of it to be popped up also. Cut that one a little bit too long, but that's okay. I'll just put that right there. Let's do another piece here. And I'll stick one piece in the middle. All right. So now we're ready to pour our gems in there. And we want to be generous with this because it's a big area. And you want to see the gems when the card is held up. Now, all of these are actually, I want all the flat sides up. Let's try this. Because I think it might be easier to put the piece on top. So I'm going to place the gems, make sure the rounded side is up. Just a couple. Okay, let's get the tape off. Okay, if we're ready, so we are going to carefully put this on top of this to all to be even. There we go. Now we have a little shaker piece here. Okay. So I also use the smallest arch. This will be my sentiment piece. So let's stamp a sentiment on here. I think on this one, I'm going to put Healing Hugs. That's the one I was looking for. Healing Hugs. And I'm going to stamp it over here a little bit because I want to tie a ribbon around. Okay. This is a very quick card you will see. I'm going to just put this right here, even with the edge. And then something else I did is I stamped the butterfly, and I'll just stamp another one to show you how I stamped that. I stamped it first and then stamped it off. And then I just kind of rolled it around a little bit and stamped it again to kind of give the two colors. And then I just fussy cut it out. And there is a little butterfly body stamped image. You can see I used that. And I'm just going to attach that butterfly right there. Before I do, let's go ahead and add the ribbon. And again, I'm using the same 1.5 inch white ribbon that I used yesterday. So let's just tie this on here. There, now we are ready to add it to the card. Just even with the edge. And my little butterfly, let's just pop this butterfly up a little bit. Some more dimensions here. And I've got some Hues of Blues flowers. They came out when Peaceful Gardens was the designer paper was released. They actually really match this paper right here. So let's add just a couple of little white flowers. Do a white one here. And maybe do a little blue one right here. Okay, so there is our card. Quick and easy. Little shaker flower with the gold gems inside. So that is day 3 project, and I will have this on the guide so that you can recreate the card. Join me tomorrow. I'll be back with day 4 project. Let's see what we've got for day 4.